I can, Kate. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks so much for jumping on the phone. We really appreciate it. So these sanctions that's going to be announced from the president, do you think the sanctions that the president's going to be rolling out will go far enough, or do you still think Congress needs to act as well?
Well, I do think Congress has to act in two ways. First of all, I'm pleased that President Obama is moving forward. And the one thing we've learned in the Baltic states is they've seen this movie before. This is not about one country or one country's election, as horrific as this conduct was. Estonia was attacked in 2007 just for moving a bronze statue, cyber attacked, their web access shut down. Lithuania was attacked. Their members of parliament attempts to spy on them and bug them. And then when they invited members of the Crimea parliament in, they actually cut off their web access and did a cyber attack. This is something that they have done systematically. So this is an attack not just on an American election or one political party. It is an attack on all democracies. And that's why it's so important that the call for Congress to do two things have come from Republican and Democratic senators. Senator McCain and Senator Lindsey Graham leading it. Investigations, public hearings, and then also increased sanctions beyond what the administration may be announcing today.
It does seem this is one area where there is bipartisan support around something to come out of Congress. The Russian Foreign Ministry responded to this news saying essentially, bring it on. I mean, any hostile steps, they said, will be answered, is the words coming out of the Foreign Ministry. Do you take that as a real threat, Senator?
Well, obviously they've acted on threats before, but the point is we have not responded to this. This is an attack on the fundamental American election system, which is as critical to our system of governance and to the world's democracies as anything can be when you have the world's greatest democracy attacked this way. If we were to do nothing, it's tantamount to saying, go do it in the German elections, go do it in the French elections. So they can say what they want, but we have to stand tall, Democrats and Republicans, and say this will not be tolerated. And that's why I'm glad the president is announcing these steps today.
Here's how the president-elect, Donald Trump, reacted to talk of new sanctions against Russia. Listen to this.
I think we ought to get on with our lives. I think that computers have complicated lives very greatly. The whole, age of computer has made it where nobody knows exactly what's going on. We have speed, we have a lot of other things, but I'm not sure you have the kind of security that you need. But I have not spoken with the senators, and I certainly will be over a period of time.
Senator, it might have been a little hard to hear that, especially over the phone, but essentially
all the way to Lithuania, yes.
Yeah, all the way in Lithuania, exactly. Here's the important line. When asked about Russian sanctions, the president-elect said, we need to get on with our lives. Your reaction to that?
Well, getting on with our lives means a life based on freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of democracy, and not being influenced by foreign powers and hackers. And so I am hopeful that when the president-elect gets into office, he will take this very seriously. He must. The office is bigger than anyone that serves in the office, and our government is based on this fundamental principle of a democracy. I can tell you that we have equal branches of government, and there are Democrats and Republicans in the Senate and the House that feel very strongly about this. So I hope as we move forward that he has voiced, while wanting the NATO countries to get up to 2%, which I support, spent on defense, he has voiced support for NATO. NATO is very important right now because there's nothing Russia would like more than a divided NATO or a divided U.S. from NATO. And so my view is that Congress will stand together on this, Democrats and Republicans, and I'm hopeful that the president-elect will as well.
You said you hope when he takes office he takes this seriously. Do you think he takes this issue seriously now?
I am not going to base my decisions on his tweets and offhand comments. I'm going to base my decision on what he does when he gets into office. I know that President Obama takes this seriously, or he wouldn't be announcing these increased sanctions and diplomatic responses today.
Trump can, with regard to the announcement coming from President Obama and the White House and the administration, Trump can reverse any moves that he announces against Russia the moment that Trump takes office. What if he does, Senator?
Well, that would be horrific. And I cannot believe, despite the fact that he has commended Putin over our own president, something that I won't forget, I can't believe that he would take that step to reverse these executive actions if, in fact, the president decides that our current president that we need to change his executive order so that it includes attack on one of our most critical pieces of infrastructure, and that's our election system. Because remember, Kate, this isn't just about Russia. Any other nation, whether it is China or any other country, could attack our election system. So if the president either issues a new executive order or amends his 2015 order, this will be about protecting the integrity of our election system from any foreign power or any foreign influence. And so I think it would be hard-pressed for the new president to come in and make that kind of change, and I would be hopeful that he would not do that. I hope he listens to Senator McCain and Senator Graham and some of the other Republican senators who have been very vocal about this.
You're traveling,
we
as you
literally
mentioned.
stood today. We stood today, Kate, with some of the people who 25 years ago, asserted the independence of Lithuania and were willing to stand up to Russia at that point. And we are not going to let these people down.
As you mentioned, you're traveling, touring with Senators McCain and Graham right now. Senator Graham said this week about Russia, about the Russian hacks, that Trump is at odds with 99 of the 100 members of the Senate right now on this issue. Who is that one senator that is with Trump on this, do you think?
And needless to say, I have quizzed Lindsey about this at length, and he was just generally speaking that maybe one senator wouldn't be there or would maybe miss a vote because they were taking a nap or maybe had a different view. He was not singling out any single senator. And I think he made the point for a reason, and that is that there is widespread bipartisan support for standing up to these Baltic nations, standing up for them, to supporting NATO, and then certainly to not allow foreign powers to affect our elections. As Marco Rubio has said, one day it's the Democratic Party that gets attacked. The next day it'll be the Republican Party that gets attacked. And one of the things that is coming out loud and clear on this trip is that Russia has done this before. It has been a method they've used in Ukraine, they've used in Estonia, they've been used in Lithuania, and they will continue to do it unless we put a stop to it. And so I'm glad that there is forward movement today.